Okay, now just to reinforce with what I had talked about earlier, this is the side view. I got cut off on the last one, but I got everything set I wanted to on that angle. So I just put in another angle, and I'm going to say the same thing, but from the different angle. See how you watch your left foot start. See how it's already rotating. This, come on, this needs to make this turn, and it doesn't clear. Okay, so it needs to make, that wrap needs to bring this around. So let's take a look at this. So watch his left, and watch when it starts turning. Okay, so you can see now that left shoulder is inside, well inside that knee before it's the turns. And then watch the result of that is look at the torque. Look at the torque right here. Come on. Look at the torque right here. This is now connected with this. See it? The left knee is bringing the disc. And because of that, the right leg pickup, the reaction to the right leg pickup is the knee dropping, not the shoulder dropping. Something is going to drop in order to counterbalance this pickup. We want, if the knee leads, the knee will drop first, and the shoulders will just rotate and stay level. So let's take a look at here. And it's so important to get this part done. See how far your shoulders, look at how your shoulders already rushed ahead of this knee. But look at his knee and his shoulder. See that? That's a pretty big difference. His knee is really leading. Look where the shoulder is, very disciplined. And because of that, when he picks up his right leg, this drops. When you pick up your right leg, this drops. Because you lead with this rather than this. What is bringing your ball, the discus or whatever, around your vertical axis right now? What it was doing that? It's the movement of the left shoulder. And we want the left knee to move the torso, to move the shoulder, to move the shoulder, to move the discus. Okay, so then when you pick up the right, instead of dropping the shoulder, you'll drop the knee. And that makes huge, huge amounts of difference on so many different levels. Okay, so now what are we saying here? A couple of things. I really want to compliment you. Everything but the connection to the thing, the timing of the sprint is really good. And the knee bringing a linear acceleration here, linear, very nice. But you can see, and this is really important, I don't want to talk about it as if you can control it, but you can see, because your upper body led, let's watch where you are at the end of the sprint. See it? And let's look where he is at the end of the sprint. Now, what do we see the difference? The same amount that your upper body led without the left knee is how much farther ahead your upper body is. See where he is at the end of his sprint? Remember that drill I just showed you, that middle turn drill? Look where he is. He's linear. He's rotating around, and he's got his left leg leading, he sprints, and the sprint, at the end of the sprint, he gets that discus moving around that vertical axis. It flips around there like that. But you have the upper body leading, and so the only way you can do it is to rush the right leg ahead. And what that does is that gets the right leg set out here and brings the shoulder down, and your center of mass is here. Okay, now this is important you understand this. Because your center of mass is landing here instead of, see where his is? Okay, look at the difference. Yours is broken in here, and his is right on top of the right leg. And that's going to allow the left leg to come through real easily and get down. Look where his left leg gets down. Look where the upper body is. Look where it's really good, okay? It's really good. Look where you are when your left leg can't get through because the right leg stops it from rotating. Still gets through. Okay, so you're not really, what's the word for it? You've stopped rotation in order to get your left leg down because of the drill with this. But if you're in a discus, if your discus was in your hand, the result of the throw is your upper body will be wide open and the discus will be somewhere over here. But because this weighs 90 pounds, I'm not a big fan of this, by the way. You should use a cone that's very light. Heavy keeps the upper body. Heavy corrects the upper body being ahead. And that's not what we want because the discus is not going to be that heavy. Okay, so we want to time everything. So let's make this smaller so we see it. Okay, so we hit with the left knee leads here. And don't, do me a favor, don't look at his positions. I understand that he's got his shoulders a little forward. Come on. He's got his shoulders a little forward, his hips sticking a little back. That's him. That's not you. Okay? I like your position here. All I want is the left shoulder inside the knee. And I want that knee leading. That's what I want you to fix. When you fix that, the sprint will be done early. Everything will be level. The discus will be behind because of the discus, not because of the weight of the implement. The sprint will create a right leg rotation, and the discus will go also around that vertical axis. And then because you're landing back underneath, with everything straight, with a straight back, that left leg will pull right through. It'll get right down. You'll catch the discus, and you'll hammer it home a big throw. Okay, so why? Why am I spending all this time on the back of the circle? It's because this is the first domino. If this doesn't connect to this and then open and lead this, the next domino, the next domino, the next domino don't add up. Okay? What happens next is you got to pick up your right leg, but the left shoulder's leading, so therefore the left's going to drop. When the left shoulder drops, the discus changes its path. All kinds of crazy things. Just be disciplined. Make sure you go back to the beginning, work a lot more drills on the left leg leading. Look at this. Look at the lead. And because of that, watch him drop, sprint. See that? And then right leg, and then left foot down, and finish. Okay, so that's the reason you can still watch it. That's the reason we're still breaking you into two pieces. The linear throw with the non-reverse, this is the position we want to work on that. Look, see how his head and chest is in the direction of throw, and this linear movement is making the discus move this way. And then because he's rotating underneath, the discus then grabs hold of that vertical pole and whips around the pole. Watch. Boom. See that? We want to flip that discus in the direction of throw. Sprint the discus. Sprint it. And then flip it around that pole. And the way we do that is the middle turn we work on being linear. And then on the full turn we work on timing, left knee lead. Okay, I know that was a long explanation, but it's really important that we get the sequence down right now while it's January. I know you're throwing them on. Don't worry about it. You're super, 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 super improved. It'll all click together. I promise.